vowel sound and consonant sound. We talk about diphthong, triphthongs, etc. Now we will continue in our lecture. The last point I had mentioned to talk about the glottal fricative, and now we will continue in affricatives. Affricatives are made by making a complete closure to some point in mouse, similar to plosive, but there are different between them actually. There are different between plosive and affricatives. So, however, affricatives differ as in the air is released slower than plosive. So we said that plosive, so any plosive is mean correct and strong more than affricative. So let us start. Let us back to the definition of affricatives. Affricatives are made by making complete closure. So a complete closure at the same point in mouse. So similar to plosive. So we said plosive about 6 sounds, and I mentioned them. And also so affricatives are made by making complete closure at some point that in the mouse, and also it is similar to plosive actually. However, so affricatives differ as in the air release. So the difference between plosive and affricative, it is very important for us to think that the releasing of air, it is slower than plosive. In plosive, it is more than and strong than plosive. Also, actually, the sound ch and the sound, its voice version, it is a voice version makeup in this group. Let us start to note what about this sound are made by the combined 2 sounds shown here. So first one, it's sh sound, ya. So as mentioned, for the, like pressure and pressure. So here we would like also this also that sound, and this is that sound. So now we would like to join 2 new ones. So it means ch and ja. So it may look like ja, for example. So these sounds are made by combining in the 2 sounds shown here. We would like also between ta and sha that will give us the, for example, for church, crunch, and lunch as a also sound. It means cha sound. By the way, also ja look like jeans, jam, jump, generator, bridge, etc. So it looks like we say that these sounds are known as the palato-alveolar affricative. So the first very important sound that related to palato-alveolar affricative, it is ch and j sound and j sound. As I mentioned that, so the example for ch, like chair, China, church, etc. So and j, for example, is like jeans, generator, bridge. So why I call to them actually palato-alveolar affricative? Why? This is question for you. This question belongs to you.
Professor, I think because the place that we produce the sound from the mouth,
Yes, good. Another one or another idea. So Paladu algebra. If we look at the diagram or a shape on our left hand, actually, what we say that is there are a closure here. So the shape of tongue, actually, it is different from places to places here. These are different between ch and j, the difference between them. And these sounds are made by the combining the two sounds as shown here as example. And the difference also between the plosive sound and the affricative sounds that we say, I said. So the release, it is come smaller than the first one. It's mean plosive, it is stronger than. For this reason, we say that follow to alveolar affricatives also. The one of them actually it is ch, like chair, and ja, like the jeans, jam, generator, bread, etc. So let us to continue and to talk about another one. It's called nasal or nasal. So with another accent, American British accent, there are different nasal or nasal. So the nasal sounds are made by the making a complete closure actually. So and we say that nasal a complete closure in the mouth and allowing the air to escape through the nose. So that, and a lot of them, about three, na, na, and ma. So that's the difference between nasal. Why we say nasal, it is comes from nose or nostril open. So for example, if I like to close my nose, unable to pronounce this sound actually, na, na, and we say that ma sound. Let us just show that in a diagram. So these sounds are made by the plucking of a part of mouth by using the tongue. So if we look here, this is air. It is come across from lungs until to pharynx, larynx, etc. So throat. So this air is like to grow across, but this happen here close or a close for which call. And then here, the change of a way of the net sound is come from the nose actually. And what is also the difference between another sound? So we'll look at them in example. So these sounds are made by plucking off a part of the mouth. We look here, the part of mouth will be closed actually. So then using the tongue and the air moving through the nasal passages. So passages creates the sound. So it is go ahead and come through the nasal or nose opening or nostril as it is in another book. So that also, for example for na and na sound, no, been, nine, no. So I know that, for example, it is known as alveolar nasal. And we said alveolar nasal because the tongue here, it is at the tip of tongue, actually, it is touch the alveolar ridge and the sounds it's come across through the nose, actually, as we note in this diagram. So alveolar ridge, alveolar nasal, alveolar nasal. So na sound, for example, and unable, if I closed my nose and are unable to pronounce this sound correctly. So there are something obstructions or something that give me or don't allow me to pronounce this actually, this sound actually. So na sound, the difference between them. I said na sounds mean alveolar nasal. So for example, a word song, English, thank. So this is known as the vela nasal. This is a vela nasal, So why we say a vela nasal? So this sound is a common in a word like n and ank, for example, and sound, so that it is n sound actually. is very important for us to show that the word sung, English, and sang, there are a relationship between and sound. N are the letters and G are the letters, but also N and K are the letters. But we say that here we concentrate about which called sound, sound and sound in the spelling of them. So let us go ahead. Any question in this part before we will go in ahead? Any question? What is the difference between na and na sound? So, and what is the difference between alveolar nasal and velar nasal? So, yes.
Clear, Doctor.
Welcome. Nasal. Is it clear for you?
Clear,
So,
Professor.
it's clear. Great. So alveolar nasals and velar nasals, go ahead. So ma sound, ma sound. I said there are three nasals sounds. The first one is na, and ma sound. So ma sound is made by closing both lips, so and allowing to the sound to travel through the nasal passages. So look at this diagram actually here. So this sound here coming, a part of the release comes through the lips, and the others or the rest of the sound it is comes through the nasal. For this, that is the so or in between ma sound, it is come or it's pronounced through lips and through nose. For this reason, we say nasal sound. So why? Because it comes through the nose actually. The ma sound is made by closing the post lips and allowing to the sound to travel through the nasal passages. For example, my, green, and smile. So, and here is example for ma as initial, ma at the end, and ma at the middle of the word. For example, remember also. And here we call for this part. This sound is known as bilabial nasal. This question is up to you. Okay, so that's bilabial nasal. So we call for them bilabial nasal because you participate.
Because we close the lips, allowing the air passaging from the nose.
Great. So, and we say that before that bilabial means bilabial, we use our two lips actually. So as a nasal actually. So let us move to another thing. Oral continuance. So oral continuance, that means the continuity of the oral or speech sound actually. So some consonants are in some ways like vowels, they are frictionless. Frictionless, that means it is not need to be strong actually or a force. So for example, the previous group nasal, na, na, and na sound, the frictionless actually. So there is not strong between them, so mean to so. So some are also midway between the consonants and a vowel. So some symbol we are able to belong it to vowel or belong it to the consonant that is in between. So this vowel, this sounds like what and ya sound. So what and ya sound actually is very we are able to elaborate them or to belong it actually to what sound. Is it vowel or is it consonant? That is a way between consonants and vowel, between consonant and vowel, wa and ya. For example, is it yes or yes? So is it, what is the difference between this sound? Which correct? Yes or yes?
Yes, Professor. I'm accustomed to receive it as yes.
Yes. Yeah. So yes. So sometimes thank you very much. Thank you. You're an active student. Actually, you are an active student. You are excellent. I need many students like you. What's your name? I just said ZH. What's your
I'm
name?
Ziad, Professor Ziad.
Ziad. Good. Ziad. So here the sounds also midway between. So that is the wa and ya sound. It is we don't able to connect it as the vowel or to consonant. That is in between. Yes, so are sometimes called semi-vowels or glides. So why? Because it is nearby to vowel. For example, or glides, that means this sound is glide from the mouth through the tongue, through the organ of the speech, we say glides. So, and actually, these with la and ra. La and ra, also another one that is, it is differentiate between them, ra and la. Make up a group called continuant or sonant, another accent. So that is mean this is called continuant, like la and ra. So, and also we have another what? Yeah, la and ra. We would like to make our differentiate between them more than, okay. So sound, the sound ra. This sound actually is found in Arabic language. So it's made when the tip of tongue. So look at the diagram, the tip here, the tip of tongue, it is, the made within the tip of tongue is still closed to alveolar edge. It is come back so that to alveolar edge, but not touching the alveolar edge. So that is this sound actually, ra sound. If we would like to pronounce this, for example, ra sound, we know that the ra and made when the tip of tongue is still close to the alveolar ridge, but not touching. The condition or that it is not touching the alveolar ridge. The side of the tongue, for example, a side of the tongue, actually inside the side of the tongue, they also touch the lower back teeth, Now practice this sound. Practice this sound, for example, ra sound. If you practice it, we will note that. We note that alveolar edge, but not in touching, and the side of the tongue should touch the lower back teeth, the lower back teeth. Actually, the sound is usually quite difficult. We describe it as quite difficult for whom? For Arabian people, for the Persian people, so for Asian students. So why? And can be, that is mean confused with la sound. La and ra for Asian regions or peoples, they are all students from Asian, there are some cross or some confused between the difference between la and ra sound. So, and for example, red, describe, red, free, green, trouble. So this is known as post-alveolar approximation. So alveolar approximation. So if we say something that approximately, so what do you mean by approximately? So for example, that's near to something, nearby to something, for example. and we say the ra sound, it is post-alveolar approximately. Any question in this part? There are differences between ra, la, and the wa and e. Wa, yeah, also la and ra. Any addition? Any comment? Any question in this part? I think there is no any addition. So let us also to concentrate on the very important things, which is the sound la sound. And la sound is divided into two parts. It's divided into two parts, very important part. So distinctive sound. So the distinction between la, it is divided into two parts. And also which occur according to the following rules, if the sound occurs at the beginning or a middle of the word, then this clear la. So we have two la sound. So we say that la, it is divided into two pronunciation. The first one, we say clear la or light la, and another one it is called dark la. And what is the difference between dark la and the also dark la and the little or lit, or we say that clear la? The difference between them, we look at this here. For example, the sound occurs at the beginning or middle of the word, then this la sound it is clear or light. Great. So and if the sound occurs at end of the word, then the sound is dark. For example, little and little. So little and little. So the first la in little, so little. So that la, because it is followed by the I, on I it means sound. It, so little. Well, we will look the last la in little. So we say that is dark la. So lateral. So we say lateral. Clear, the tip of touches, a tip of what? A tip of tongue actually touches the center of alveolar ridge, allowing to the air escape around the side. And this is we say clear la. For example, if you pronounce it in the first example here in this diagram, so we say that la. So lamp. So lamp. Literally. So lemon. So any word which start with la, so we say this la, it is clear la, or we say that it is the light and dark in another books. So the difference between that, for example, little la sound, castle, for example, castle. So declares touches the center of the alveolar ridge, so actually allowing to the earth to escape from places to another places, or to between two sides of which call the tongues, the side of tongue. So dark la, the same as the clear la, but the center of tongue is relied to the soft palate. Look at this example here. This is the tongue. This is a tongue, and we saw that the tongue it relies, it means to relies up to pronounce la sounds. For example, little, so little, the difference between little, so a little, so la at the first and the la at the end of the word. Hurry up. Though it's known as the laterals, or we say laterals in a British accent, so lateral with American accent. So here the difference between la, dark la, and light la. Any question? Any question in this part? Any addition? You are a researcher. Researcher must add, researcher must comment, researcher must practice, must discussion or make a discussion between his colleague and another student. Actually must be effective, okay? To be effective, to cooperative work, so that will give you a chance to build yourself, to build self-confidence, to build your field of knowledge in which area. All these things allow to you to as a researcher, you must analyze anything, to comment to anything, to that means to argue or discussion. Yeah. So what is the difference between la sound, la, dark la, and clear la?
Yes, Professor, I can participate if no one can.
Welcome, Ziad.
Okay, clear comes at the beginning of the word, and the air can flow at both sides of the tongue. Dark come at the end of the word, and the tongue in a position to the back.
Oh, great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. So, actually, this is the difference between dark la and the little ra. The difference between light la and yeah.
That's just a query that if we have a word that has a dark le and followed by a vowel, so the le at the end of the word be or becomes clear.
So is it question or comment? I don't hear you well, or
A question. A question.
A question, yeah. Example. So, for example,
little off.
Yeah, welcome.
Little off.
Yeah, little off.
So L at the end of little and off at the beginning of the next word. So L, a little, would becomes clear instead of dark.
Yeah, this some British accent, they do not illustrate it or do not to differentiate it between both of them. So if you pronounce it normally through normal way, it is no. But according to American accent, they are just mean to little la in the beginning. That is they pronounce often actually they pronounce it a little or clear, and la at the end they are actually to pronounce it dark la. So it is up to you. It is up to accent you are belong to. So if we have example here, lateral or lateral, which is to American accent, we say lateral, so like this, and in British accent, so the laterals without la. So it may be little than the which pronounced in American. That is mean a clear or appear to all people to listen it actually. Welcome.
Okay, clear.
Yes. Anything else? So also let us to go to another sound. Wa sound. W letter. It sound wa. So if we say sound wa, sound is similar to the, for example, U sound, but lips are rounded to give more tension, to give us or more tension. So, for example, if we pronounce this sound, wa, wa, so their intention, tension in this actually in this sound, and in the same time, the lip is semi-rounded. So the tongue too is similarly positioned, only it rises slightly more. So if we pronounce it, practice that, for example, we send that is our tongue actually rise. So it's slightly more, and what also the shape of what, as I mentioned, that what sounds similar to you sound, but lips are oo sound. For example, if we say, for example, you, and so what. So there are different in the shape of the lips actually. For example, wedding, window, wire, was, what, so where, we went, and which. And we say for this what, label, regular, semi-vowel. So label, regular, semi-vowel. We call any one of these sounds according to the way, according to the manner, or a place of articulation. So as I said that label, regular, semi-vowel, it is according to the articulation or a place of articulation. This is about wa and wa sound. Actually, ya sound. The letter J, but it's like if we look at the sound, this sound is called ya. So, for example, the sound is made by raising the center of the tongue. For example, in this diagram here, so there are actually raising the center of the tongue toward the soft palates. To soft. Here, alveolar, the soft part and the hard part here. So that, and here velum. So this sound actually, so toward the soft palates and the lips are neutral. So these are lips neutral. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, for example, yesterday, your, yeah. So, and the voice, we say the voice a strong fortis, or we say that it's a strong. This the consonants in, for example, bu. So that is the word bu. So bu, bu or pure in American accent, because their ra sound is optional. So that is pure or pure. Glide. So I glide. So this come across from which the last one, I think. It is the ya sound is made by raising central of the tongue toward the soft palate and the palate, soft palate, and the lips also are neutral. We will look to very important things: the shape of tongue and the shape of the which call the lips, and the place of articulation of this. In any sound, you must to look at these three things actually. Tongue, shape, is it front, center, tip of tongue? Also the shape of lips, is it round, neutral, is it spread? And also the very important thing that is a place of articulation. Is it bilabial? Is it labodental? Is it palatal semi-vowels are known as yak sound. So this is our first part today, inshallah. So that is the reference. If you would like to add new information, these different references, you can add other information too. I think we will stop the first session now. Then we will return back in 3 minutes. Any question? Any question? There are 2 minutes or 1 minute and a half for you to any question before we will end the first session. Then we will continue in the second session after 3 minutes. Any question? Ali, Anas, so M, Mustafa, Udwan, Shadi, Zaid, Ziad, so, and Abdul Karim. So any question?
Thank you, Doctor. No question.
No question.
Sir, do we have such like a classification of the consonants in order to memorize them well?
Yeah, so that to classify of the consonant, so we can classify them actually to plosive. Plosive have six sounds. Also, we have Affricative is about 9 sounds, and also this about 6 plus 9, 15 minus 40, 24. It equals Affricative. So we talk about 5 Affricative. We talk also about which called the classify of the vela semi-vowel like wa and ya. And also we will talk about ra and la, the difference between them. We say that approximatum. So now we would like to differentiate between the manner of articulation and a place of articulation. That is very important.